Hello, Horse Hawks, and welcome back to another Hawkcast.
Today we'll be discussing our upcoming play, the ending of our swim team season, career opportunities, and a group running a business within our own school.
For students who are unsure what career they might wish to pursue, a resource used by the school is Are You Ready ND. The website provides job descriptions, education needed, as well as local and national salaries for specific jobs.
While this is a good resource to have, is it actually accurate? We talked to someone with real experience. Here's what our own Officer Muse had to say.
I'm here with Officer Muse today, and I just had a few questions about his career. How long have you been within this career?
17 years.
I guess where did you get your interest to become a police officer?
It found me. I was farming, and I got a phone call from a guy that worked in a rough town, said, "You want to be a cop?" And then I'm like, got sick of farming, so I said, sure, and a few bar fights later, I was hooked.
So how'd you get from breaking up bar fights to ended up watching a public high school?
Well, I jumped from agency to agency a little bit. This is the fourth agency I've been at in 17 years. My last agency I was at 14 years, and I was acting SRO for 4 schools. I had everything from a K through 12 all the way up to high school. And I just decided I wanted to go someplace where I could be a full-time SRO, and this was it. So,
What'd you do within your field to get to where you are today?
joined the Army and got my veterans preference. I went and got a degree in paramedic technology from Bismarck State College. I did an associate's degree in 9 months. That was a lot of work and a lot of time in the back of an ambulance. Did that for a little while, and then just kept getting experience. And then my deployment to Afghanistan is what kind of set me ahead of everybody else when it comes to applications.
Alright, and my last question today would be, what advice would you give to someone who wants to follow your career path?
If it were me, if I could do it again, I probably would have went to a four-year college, because that opens up a lot more doors for people. A 4-year degree will qualify you for any federal agency, like the FBI, Homeland Security, Diplomatic Security Service, that kind of thing. Depends on what you want to do. There's so many different avenues you can go. You have to have, in order to be a West Fargo police officer, you have to have 60 college credits. That's an equivalent to it. For basically, go get a 2-year degree in criminal justice from like Lake Region State College, and then do the police academy, and then you're good to go from there. So, yeah, just trying to stay out of trouble. And basically, you can't have any felonies if you want to be a cop. And yeah, just if this is something you want to do, go on a ride along once. And go on a ride along and see if it's something you really want to do, because going on a ride along is the best way to figure out that's the best way to do it. Go about doing it, or join the Explorer program too, or the Cadet program.
Well, thank you, Officer Muse.
Yeah,
Have a great day.
Thanks.
Students in Miss Daly's management class were challenged to be entrepreneurs and open their own business.
One of those groups decided to start selling a sweet treat at lunch, and we got a chance to interview them about their business and what they hope to accomplish.
Every Thursday and Friday, students have been lining up during their lunch to support a business ran by their fellow classmates. They make ice cream floats, and while they started for a project for their marketing class, they plan to keep it going after. Choose Rip Your Floats.
So when we first started our JA project, we submitted an application for our first business, which was going to be window well cleaning, and that one got denied for like safety reasons. And then we submitted another application for car detailing, and they said that could be like a liability for some sort of stuff like damaging property. So our last resort was going to be root beer floats, and that's how we chose it.
So the last choice, but it's surely been profitable. Do you guys plan to do this after the project's done?
Yeah, so we plan to continue with it. We'll maybe experiment with some different products as well. So maybe some ice cream sandwiches or some popsicles, different drinks, stuff like that.
Well, definitely a business from at least one person.
Our library is filled with books of every genre, but sometimes having all those options can be intimidating.
That's why Ezra took the time to read and write a review for a book that she'd recommend.
I'm Ezra. I'm going to be talking about 2 books. The first one is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. It was published in 2018. Something to note about this book. before anything else, is that it has some gore. It mentions a lot of blood. So if you don't like things like that, this would not be a good book for you. The main character in this book is Jude. She is a human from the human world, but she was taken to the fairy world when she was a child. And so the book kind of follows her as a teenager and how she kind of interacts with her bullies and how she kind of starts to not care about what happens to her anymore. Because eventually her bully Carden, who is the Cruel Prince, he is the Cruel Prince, pushes her over the edge basically, and she just does not care anymore about anything that happens to her. So it follows her story, it follows her becoming a spy. So this is really good. This was really suspenseful. There were definitely some plot twists in there that I did not expect. And so this is very good. A very good fantasy mystery kind of book. It's got some nice elements of both, and it's very quick paced. So it's not very, a lot of the scenes don't have a whole lot of detail. It just kind of moves very quickly along. So that's The Cruel Prince. It's in the library. There's also Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. This one is, also this one is a series. So this is the first one in the series. This book follows Lena, whose mother died and sends her to Italy to live with her father, who she has never met before. And so it kind of follows her and how she's kind of starting to learn about her mother and like her mother's younger years, things that she had never told Lena. And it also follows her story of love, love and gelato, kind of makes sense. It's Love and Gelato because it's in Italy and gelato's a thing in Italy. But yeah, there's like a little bit of a love triangle kind of thing going on. It's not that much of a love triangle, but whatever. This was a very light read. It's pretty unoffensive. I was able to finish it in less than 24 hours. It's definitely a romance book, and I'm not the biggest fan of romance, but it was pretty good. Very nice if you just want something simple and short. And that's my book review.
Well, then that concludes this week's Hotcast. We're hoping you enjoyed this time with us.
Tune in for next episode, and goodbye until then!